Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Savannah and this is my crafting podcast. I mostly talk about knitting and spinning, but occasionally there are other crafts as well. And I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that I've been working on this past week. So, this past week has been pretty decent. It was nice. It was only 3 days. We had a snow day in the middle of the week, so that was really, really nice. But I've just been going to work and being at home and working on projects. So I'll go ahead and, sorry, there's hair in my eye. I'm gonna go ahead and share those with you now. So I have one finish, and it's also a new start that you did not see last week. So yeah, I don't even remember what day it was. Oh, you know what day it was? It was Monday. We didn't have school. Monday. I woke up and when I wake up, I like to get on social media just to, browse around. It's kind of like my little time to doom scroll, I guess you'd want to call it. I'd usually do that in the mornings before I get up and start my day. So I was on Instagram and you know how they always like recommend things, like you're scrolling through and then you see something that you're not following, it just happens to be there. I do hate that, but this time it was okay. This lady, she's a crocheter. I don't know what her handle is. I don't know any of that stuff because, again, I'm not following her. I don't know who she was. It just happened to pop up that one time. She's wearing the cutest little crocheted cardigan, like oversized cardigan, and what I thought was amazing was that half of it was black and gray and the other half was like rainbow. So it was very much Wednesday and Enid's like window, if you've seen the show. It was super cute, and I'm like, oh, I love that. I'd love to make that. So I started looking into it because I think I clicked on this lady's like profile to see if she sold a pattern for it. And she doesn't. She just, I believe she just had like commissions. She'd make the sweater herself. But she did link that she followed a certain person's YouTube on how to make this cardigan. And so I went and looked into it, and it's a completely free tutorial on how to make the entire cardigan, which I thought was amazing. So I jumped out of bed and was like, you know what? I'm not going to make it for me, but I know my daughter would love this. So I started looking at yarns online to see the yarn that the lady used in the YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel is called Passion Knit Kelsey. I'll have it linked below the video. But she used hobby yarn, and so I looked into that yarn and I was like, it's a bit expensive for the amount I would need for my daughter, which isn't a lot, but still it was kind of expensive. Plus I'd have to wait for shipping and stuff like that. So I started looking around like that Lion brand, because I know their mandala yarn is color changing as well. And then I was like, you know what, let's go to Joann's. So when my daughter woke up, I explained what I'd like to make for her, and I'm like, let's talk about colors. And I'm like, how about we go to Joann's? It looks like they're having a sale on Lion brand mandala yarn, so we did that. She picked out her yarn, and I started making this cardigan for her. So it is called the Granny Hexagon cardigan. It's super simple to make for almost any size because you're actually starting in the armpit and working out in a granny hexagon, not a square but a hexagon. And that's all you do is you work one side until until you get the depth. The way you fold it, you get the depth that you want for your sleeve, and then you extend the sleeve out from there and add a cuff, and then you do the same thing on the other side, and then you can knit once you have those, you'll connect them, and then you can add the length that you might need, that you would prefer, and then you just border it. Super simple. It really is a super simple cardigan. So like I said, we went to Joann's. She looked through some of it. We were a little disappointed in the selection because on the like I have the app for Joann Fabrics, it showed a lot more was in stock, but when we actually showed up in the store, there wasn't that much actually, so that kind of sucked. But while we were walking around, we happened to find another like little section that had some of the yarn, so she was able to pick oops, oh goodness, she was able to pick the color that she wanted. And this is a hot mess, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you. This is the yarn, so it's Lion Brand Mandala. We chose the bonus bundle, so it's 300 grams or 1,181 yards. It's 100% acrylic. I wasn't sure with, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure how much yarn we were gonna need for her size. I was kind of basing it off of, so Hobbii, Hobbii, has a free pattern for this cardigan, for the kid size and adult size, and they give yardage, so I was kind of like trying to base it off of that. So we got 2 of these cakes, which you can see it's quite messy. It starts with the brown, goes to white, and then to yellow, to dark gray and light gray, and then back to brown. So I was like, I started in the middle and I was worried that was going to be too much brown and we wouldn't get to the yellow. So I was like, okay, well, let's start from the outside and work our way in. And when I did that, so this is the one that I started from the outside. So you see we're at the gray. I didn't realize how quickly I would get to my daughter's size. And so this is pretty much my daughter's size, and we got to know yellow. So we got to know yellow. I was like, crap. So I showed it to my daughter and I'm like, what do you think? And she's like, I really wanted the yellow in there because yellow is her favorite color. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, I will start from the middle, and you know, I'll leave this one for now. Just, I left it attached to the skein, just started from the middle and started working. And after a little while, I was like, we're gonna get too close to not getting to the yellow again. So I broke the brown after a little while and started back in with the next color, and I was able to get to the yellow. So I did that and then used the second skein as you know, so I could get the same on the other side, because unfortunately, as much as I wanted like a scrappy look, this yarn does not change color fast enough, so we didn't get as scrappy of a look as we wanted. So I was glad I had 2 balls so I could replicate it on both sides. And I got this finished yesterday actually. So I knit pretty much 2.5 sleeves. It's a little difficult to show you. So here's one side, got that done. Here's the cuff. So it's my first time doing crochet ribbing. It was definitely a little bit of a challenge at first, but I got it. And then the other side, so you just replicate it. And because she is on the smaller side, all I had to do, I only added 2 extra rounds for the sleeve after. So this is 1 round short altogether. So this just needs 1 more round all the way around this hexagon, which, as you can see, it's a hexagon. You just fold it this fun certain way and it makes a body and a sleeve. So I need to go around 1 more time to make, again, her size. And then I just added 2 more rounds because there's no sewing in this. I should say that there's no sewing in this. Once you get to where you need to be, you're just going to crochet across the top. So it really just looks like, let's see if I can show you this across the top of the sleeve. It just looks like the rest of it. It's super simple. It's just more slip stitches and double crochets. Really simple. So again, I just added 2 more rows around for her length, and there's yarn everywhere, and then added the cuff. I decided to use, so when I broke the brown and wound it off, I still had a little bit, obviously a little bit bigger than this, but I had a ball this size. So I'm like, will that be enough to do the cuffs? Because I thought that would look good to have the brown as the cuffs. And thankfully I did. So I did that one, and then I did the other side. Same. I think I'm one row short of the brown on the other side. I don't know which side is which anymore, unless I counted. But it wasn't going to matter because, as you can see, you can't really tell by just looking. We've got plenty of yellow in there. So once you finish both sides, you do the same thing. You're going to add a little extra on each side for the back so that you can have a neck opening. So that's the neck opening right here. That part threw me off just a little bit because the way I was watching the video, she showed that she'd picked up on this one side and knit down, and it ended up being for the other side. So I was like, not knit, crocheted. And I was like, crap. So I had to flip it, and then trying to connect it the same way you do for the top of the sleeves, I was just a little bit backwards. Because I was doing less rows than she was, because she was doing an adult size and I was doing a kid size. So I just added 2 extra on one side, 1 extra on the other side, and then when you go to connect it, it's like crocheting a whole nother row, so 2 on each side technically. So there's that. And then I got some white what is this, Red Heart Super Saver, because I thought that would look best as the border. So you just do a single crochet all the way around the body, all the way up and around, and that is it. That is the whole thing. I do think I could have gone 1 extra round before the cuff for her, but I didn't want it to be too long. So, and what's nice is I could probably always rip this out and add another row, or just make a whole nother one, because I think a real pretty like rainbow scrappy one would be a lot of fun as well. So this was, I washed it and dried it yesterday, and all that's left to do is we're gonna go ahead and add these buttons. I don't know if you can, nope, you can't. These buttons are little plastic flower buttons. I purchased these a while ago on Etsy. Let's see here. These are Button Bin Etsy. That's who it is. I purchased these buttons for a cardigan I made myself last summer. And these were what I have left over. And I thought, while it's not necessary because the neck hole is nice and small so that it'll stay up on her shoulders, it would be nice to have a button or 2 so she can close it to keep it on her body a little bit more. So we're just gonna figure out if we're gonna add 1 or if we'll add 2 or maybe all 4 of them. I'm not sure. But I thought this looked like a sunflower, so sunflower buttons would have been fun, but I don't want to order any buttons. So yeah, it's really, really soft and cozy. Like, I get it, it's acrylic, but when you wash acrylic, it softens up a lot, and it's great for kids' clothing. So since I have this much left, and I already have almost a whole sleeve finished. I mean, yes, there's a little bit left to go on this. I'm thinking of going ahead and making this one for my coworker's daughter, because my coworker's daughter is the same age as my daughter. So I figured, why not use up some more of this extra yarn and just make another one. Yeah, it's not as fun because it's these grays and browns, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So yeah, this is what I've been working on this past week. This has got the majority of my attention because I really wanted to get this done for her. So I actually had this one in my stash, and I've used some of it already for a shawl on my, what is it, my triangle loom. And my daughter really liked this colorway. It's called Sasquatch, I believe. This one was, oh, I forgot to tell you what color this is. This is Yeti. This is the Yeti colorway. This one's Sasquatch. She really liked this one, but they didn't have this one in stock in the stores, and I didn't know if this would be enough. Obviously, I know now it would be enough. And while it looks like it would change color more, I still do believe that she'd have two different sides. But I'm debating on actually go ahead and just seeing what it would look like to go ahead and crochet this up into one of those for her, so she has like a colorful one too. But yeah, super fun, super easy, and she's super excited to have this. Yeah, just gotta add those buttons. Okay, let me get this out of the way. Oh, and the same day that we picked up that yarn, our Joann's is right next to a Target, so we stepped into Target because McDonald's was not ready for lunchtime yet. So we're in there, we looked through the dollar section, and I saw this little bag. It's a round bottom like bucket bag, but what's cool is that it has this bit that is a drawstring. So they had this colorway or pattern, and then they had another one. I should have just got both because I actually really like this bag. It fits these cakes really well. Really like it. So if you're on the hunt for a fun big canvas material project bag, Target has these in the dollar section. So they're $5 each, unfortunately, but still worth it. Again, I should have got the other one too because these are nice. All right, what else? Okay, so that was that's the granny hexagon cardigan. There's so many patterns out there for that, but I think the video tutorial was the easiest one to follow. All right, what else? I finished another quadrant on my, was this the Rose Cardigan by Andrea Mowry? I showed you this last week, except I told you that I was in this area and I was like, this is gonna be finished after the video, and it was. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. And I was able to get it washed and blocked. So let me tell you what I've discovered since finishing this. All right, so when I finished up these short rows, I don't know if you can tell, this side's wider than this side, so there's short rows. I was supposed to do a certain number, and I realized that I was already at my target number of stitches on my needle, and I still had one more short row to do. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So I forgone. I didn't do that last short row so that I could keep the required number of stitches on the needle. And I was like, that's weird. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna go with it. And I bound it off and I washed and blocked it, and it looks beautiful. And then I hung it on the mannequin because this is the front left quadrant, so this will go in the front. So yeah, and then I went ahead and started casting on the third quadrant, which is the back left. And when I went ahead to start casting on, I don't know what the heck made me realize, but I was looking at the pattern and I realized that I had cast on the wrong number of stitches for the first two quadrants that I did. So I use GoodNotes on my iPad for my patterns, and I always highlight the size that is mine. So I'll go through the whole pattern and highlight every single number that is from my size. That way I don't mess up. And I had highlighted the correct number of stitches that I need to cast on for my size, and I still didn't see it. I cast on for the extra small size for both of those quadrants, which in turn made me realize that's why I had to be one short row short on this piece. It's because I cast on with the wrong number of stitches. 4 stitches short, actually. So I was casting on with the extra small size, but knitting using the numbers for the small size. And I'm so upset with myself because it's not like I can, but am I going to rip out both quadrants and re-knit those at the correct? No, I mean, both pieces still look like they're going to fit me, I still have to, I have to sew them together. I have to add a band, and add, oh, you can't see, sorry, and add the ribbing. So I'm not too worried about the actual oversized, or the overall fit, because it is supposed to be oversized. But I'm just really bummed that I completely ignored my highlighted number for my cast on. So of course, when I cast this one on, I made sure to do the same mistake. I'm just going to continue that same mistake throughout the rest of it. So I have the 4 stitches short on my cast on. I still hope it fits because it's supposed to be right around this area. I do hope it fits. I'm using the German twisted cast on just to give it a little extra stretch. But yeah, this is as far as I'm at on the 3rd quadrant. It would have been finished already if not the crochet cardigan. Yes, honey.
Can I maybe replant this?
Yeah, honey, you just gotta stick it in dirt. They can't see you, honey.
Oh.
You just stick it in dirt.
I found this plant.
A little succulent.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stick it in the dirt and it should grow. Okay?
I want my own pot for it.
I don't know if I have any tiny pots. Well, you'll have to wait until I'm done, okay?
Okay, but my sister said something.
What did she say?
That we could use one of her pots.
Oh, but I have a small pot. Okay. Anyways, this would have been done if not for my daughter's crochet cardigan. But I'm close. I'm probably get this finished this evening. Again, after this video. This is again a back panel, so there's no short rows in this one. It was just binding off a little bit and then now just doing straight knits and purls until the recommended. It says to do it for so many rows, so I'm going to do it for so many rows. And then wash and block it so that it is nice and flat and soft and not wrinkly. And then I'll start the last quadrant. Once the last quadrant is finished, that does not mean this project is finished because I still have to sew it all together. I have to knit the bottom ribbing and the cuff ribbing, and then the button band is actually knit separately with big cables on it. So you'll knit one piece and then you'll knit the other piece. You sew it on and then you connect them with a 3-needle bind off in the back, which is different. So I still have quite a bit of knitting on this, but I'm enjoying it still. I'm enjoying it, even though I'm having to repeat what the heck I'm doing all the time. It's okay because I'm excited to have this piece. I just really do hope that it fits well. I mean, normally I knit a medium, but with the ease and the sizing on this cardigan, a small was what called for my size. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna trust it and hope for the best. If not, I actually was looking through other people's project pages on this, and I saw one that was all white, except on the cuff and the bottom ribbing, they put navy blue stripes in it, and it looked beautiful. So that's always an option. I mean, I have plenty of yarn to do that. So I am knitting this all up in Holst Garn. This is their super soft base. It's a fingering base. That's really thin, but I thoroughly enjoy working with this. It's not the softest thing to knit with. It's not until after you've washed and blocked it where it'll soften up quite a bit and be really nice. So yeah, this is a 500 gram cone in the Ecru colorway. Yeah, enjoy it. The other colors that I am using. Okay.
Where do you want it?
Just throw it here on the floor. Not in the towels, but whatever.
It's not in the towels.
Get out of here.
It does.
Why, for football?
Yeah. It's just the other game.
Bills game?
Yeah.
All right.
Love you.
I love you too. You're lucky I'm going to edit all that out.
I'll leave it in there.
Leave it in there?
What is that? A seed?
It's not a seed. It's a succulent leaf.
I'm going to Grandpa's.
All right, bye.
Sounds like the kids are coming with.
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
I'm going, bye.
Bye. Okay, so this colorway is Peony. This one is Allium, and this one is Candy Floss. And then I fade it into Ecru. So I am just using, for the colors, I'm just using 50-gram cakes. You can buy them like this, or you can buy them in the cones. Whoa. So this is still the first cake after 3 quadrants. So this is going to give me a 4th quadrant. So you only need one of the first color A, I think it is. I think this is color A. The one that you're going to use with your sleeves. Oh, no, okay, so 4 quadrants plus the ribbing for the cuffs. So we'll see. It might be enough. And then the second color, still the first skein of that, or cake, I should say, first cake of that one. I believe you use this color for the bottom ribbing as well. Not entirely sure. So when I get there, I'll let you know. But I think so. I'm not sure if I want to use that as the bottom ribbing. We'll see. And then for the candy floss, this is actually the second cake. So I used, let's see here. I used 1 cake already, and then, yeah, I added I started that second cake in this 3rd panel. So, and about halfway through this section. So definitely need more. I don't know what you use for the button. It's not a button band, your little band though. I don't know what color you used for that. And then I can't tell you how much I've used out of this. Most likely a full cake plus a little bit more than half probably. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Those are my main stuff. So I did work a little bit on my, what is this, the half and half triangle wrap by Pearl Soho. I only worked on it twice, and that was the other day for school pickup, and then today, this morning at church. So I have not gotten a lot done on it, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and show you what I do have so I can move my progress keeper. This is a free pattern by Pearl Soho. If you unfortunately have not heard of this pattern, I mean, so many people have, but that's where I'm at. So I believe I was right here-ish last time, so in 2 days, not a whole heck of a lot, but that's okay. So yeah, it's ginormous. So I've already have all that. If you are new here and have not seen, I have the whole first side complete. It is massive, and I've finally started on the second color. So my yarn is by Pearl Soho. It is the linen quill base, which is, it's Highland wool, alpaca, and linen. It's really nice, fingering weight. I have the peach stone colorway and the oatmeal gray colorway. So those are my 2 colors. So yeah, I did a little bit on that. Not much else to tell you about. Just chugging along. Hopefully I'll get more work on that soon, and I'll start taking it back to school pickup now that the cardigan is finished. Granted, like I said, I have the other cardigan I kind of want to make so that I can get as much of that yarn out of stash. So I did add that to my numbers for tracking, you know, like yarn coming in, and then I did just retake that back out since I used it immediately. So there's that. What else? That is it. That really is it. I don't have any other, I don't have any haul. No, I shouldn't say haul. I don't have any acquisitions other than that yarn from Joann's. I did purchase yarn today. The creative knitter, she released a romantic line, and it was yarn, like sock sets based off of scenes in movies. So I purchased the sock set from The Proposal, the Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds movie. Really love that. She has one for P.S. I Love You, which I thought that was beautiful too, but it's a green it's a green yarn, and I'm like, I have a lot of green. Absolutely gorgeous though. There's The Pretty Woman. What else? A Walk to Remember. And I forget what else. There was another one. I forget. But they're really lovely. And while I have not been purchasing yarn, I kind of caved and wanted to get this one. Nothing else that I can think of. So I guess I should mention. So this year is my 10th year, my 10th anniversary this year with my husband. And when we got married in a courthouse. I'm not the kind of person who wants to have a big ceremony or party. I am too introverted for that kind of stuff. So he agreed to just not have a wedding because he knew that that was something I didn't want to do. I didn't want to spend the money on it. The only photos that we have from our wedding is really crappy, very low, grainy, blurry photos, just not good. Not good photos at all. And so my thought was, since this is our 10th anniversary, I would really love to get photos done. Anywhere around our wedding would be great, or our anniversary, I should say, would be great, but I want us to like dress up. I'm not going to wear what I wore to our wedding. It's not technically a wedding dress. I don't want to wear that. I want something pretty. So I thought, how great would it be? Well, I started looking at wedding dresses, or like maybe renting a wedding dress. They're still so expensive. So I was like, no, that's not going to work. So I came up with a different idea. Was watching Maria. She's Knitting in the Dark on YouTube and Woolen Forest on Instagram, I believe. She was talking about the sweaters that she wants to knit this year, and she mentioned I think it's called the Ramble Sweater. I'm sorry, I forgot who it's by. Obviously I'll probably be throwing things up on the screen. I already have this pattern and I think it's cute, but the more I was looking at it while she was talking about it, I'm like, how great would it be to, like, because it's a very close fitting cropped sweater, how cute would it be over a button down? I'm like, that'd be adorable. And then I was like, wait, what if I knit it in like whites and creams and maybe gray, because you can use 2 or 3 colors for it, and then pair it with a oversized tulle skirt, like a super long tulle skirt. And I was like, oh, I like that idea. But then I also knew of another pattern by Joanna. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Again, I'll throw it up on the thing. I'm like, she's got a very beautiful sweater as well that could work as a wedding top. I could knit that one as well and put it over. And so I started looking for patterns for tulle skirts. And I found one, but I'm a little iffy to purchase it because I'm like, I don't know where to get, I need to do more research on it first. But then I looked on Amazon and was looking at tulle skirts as well. And I found a few that I really like, and they are all under, not all of them, but some of them are under $50. It's just the coloring. I don't know if I want white, or if I would want something a little bit different. The skirt that I like the most doesn't come in like an ivory color. I don't even know if it comes in white, to be honest. I know they have I was looking at reviews on it, and some people use the skirt as their wedding skirt. And some people use the pink, some people use the gray, some people use like the baby blue one. All beautiful. It's just, I don't know if I want that for me. If I did, I'd probably go with the gray. It's just, I think I would prefer like an ivory, or maybe even a champagne color, like just I don't know. And then, I'm right now it's a toss up what I want to do. I still have to convince my husband that we need to find, he needs to find a nice button down or something, and that we need to go get these photos done. A lot's happening this summer for us. We got married in June. I know that his family has started doing family reunions in the summer, and it's usually the same weekend as our anniversary. So there's that. And that would mean we'd have to travel to his hometown in Iowa. His family, my husband's family, is coming out to visit in July, I believe. So there's all that. And then there was something else I feel like that's coming up this summer as well, but I can't remember what it is. But I'm just like, I feel like there's so much going on. Like, when will I be able to fit in a photo shoot? And do I want to hire somebody to take our photos, or do I want to just try it myself with like a tripod and my phone and see how well we can get photos that way? Trying to get my husband to do things like this is difficult if you if you can relate to that, but I would really love some beautiful photos of the two of us, just celebrating that 10 years. Love to be able to show that in have a memory showing that. So these are ideas. So maybe in the next month or so, I will be starting to knit on a wedding top. Maybe. I just don't know which one. Should I just knit both? Granted, I do want the Ramble top in like bright colors as well. So I'm just like, I don't know. These are ideas, but it's something I'd really like to do. It'd be beautiful to do the photos here. We got married here in Colorado. The mountains are gorgeous to get our photos done here in the mountains somewhere. But he did propose to me in his hometown in Iowa. So, there's that as well. They have a pretty big lake there we can use as a background. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, so I went off topic for quite a while. Just, I guess, some more like knitting plans in the future. I would like to sew the skirt so I could say my whole outfit is handmade. It's me made, but I am a little bit nervous about that skirt being so big. And I definitely want tulle, and I definitely want it to be poofy. Not like princess poofy, but just poofy, and I do want a slight train to it. So I don't know. There's that. I'm going to go ahead and let you go so I can clean up. I need to finish laundry and knit. Do all the knitting. All right. I will see you guys next week. Bye.